You think you know how to spot love, don't you? You think it's in the words, the confessions, the obvious signs. But let me tell you something that will shock you. Real love doesn't announce itself. It hides, it disguises, it slips into the smallest cracks of behavior, waiting for the right man to notice. And if you miss it, you could lose the one person who would have given you everything. That's why you cannot afford to click away, because what I'm about to reveal will change the way you look at women forever. A woman who secretly loves you will never walk up and hand you her heart. No, she will protect it, guard it, and test if you are even capable of recognizing it. But here's the truth: she cannot hide it completely. Love leaks out. It shows itself in her silence, in her sacrifice, in the way she gives without asking for anything back. And once you learn to see it, you will never again wonder where you stand with her. This video is not about tricks, it's not about games, and it's not about shallow attraction. It's about truth. The truth that will separate the women who only play with your time from the ones who would stand with you when everyone else walks away. Stay with me until the very end, because by the time you finish watching, you will carry a knowledge that most men never discover in their lifetime. And once you see it, you will never unsee it. The woman who secretly loves you is already telling you everything. You just haven't been listening. Today, I'm going to make you hear it. When a woman secretly loves you, her silence is never empty. It is filled with signals, whispers, and cues that most men are simply too distracted to notice. We are conditioned to expect love to announce itself in grand gestures, in clear confessions, in the obvious words of, "I like you," or "I love you." But reality doesn't work like that. Human beings are cautious, especially when their heart is at stake. A woman will often choose silence over direct confession, not because she doesn't feel, but because she feels too deeply. Love terrifies her, because to love someone is to hand them power. The power to hurt you, the power to reject you, the power to change the direction of your life. And so she hides it, but hiding does not mean it disappears. It leaks out. It escapes through the cracks in her behavior. When a woman loves you, truly loves you, she doesn't need to be in your arms to prove it. She proves it in the way she defends your name when you're not around. Think about that for a moment. You may never know it. You may never hear the conversation, but she cannot stand idle when someone speaks ill of you. She feels that your reputation is connected to her own heart. This is not something she does for everyone. She doesn't rush to defend strangers. She doesn't waste energy protecting men who mean nothing to her. But for you, she does it instinctively. That is loyalty before commitment. That is love before declaration. Her silence also speaks through memory. A man may forget what he said on a random Tuesday afternoon 6 months ago, but she remembers. That small story you shared about your childhood, that passing mention of your favorite snack, that dream you once casually spoke of, she keeps it. She stores it like a treasure because every detail about you is sacred to her. And the shocking thing is, you might dismiss this as coincidence when she recalls it, but it isn't coincidence. It's intention. She remembers because her heart records what her mind deems valuable. And when you are valuable, nothing about you is insignificant. This is where most men fail to see the truth. They are waiting for a woman to say it out loud, waiting for the text, waiting for the confession. But love does not begin in the mouth. It begins in the eyes, in the gestures, in the way her entire body language transforms in your presence. Watch closely. Her laughter becomes more frequent, her tone softens, her energy sharpens. She becomes a little nervous, but also strangely alive. That shift is not random chemistry. It is her heart betraying her guard. She may try to act casual, but biology exposes her emotions. Her pupils dilate, her posture adjusts, her voice unconsciously seeks harmony with yours. These are things no one teaches us to notice, yet they scream louder than words. And then there is her proximity. A woman who secretly loves you will always look for excuses to weave herself into your day. She will ask questions she doesn't truly need answered. She will linger longer in conversations. She will volunteer to help you with things that don't really require her. This is not manipulation. It is longing. She wants a reason to be around you without confessing the depth of her feelings. It's the safest way to feed her affection without risking her vulnerability. Men often mistake this for friendliness. They say, "Oh, she's just being polite." No, politeness doesn't make someone bend their schedule to see you. Politeness doesn't make someone text you just to ask something trivial. That's not politeness. That's love dressed in practicality. All of these signs are love's early handwriting. They are subtle, hidden, and quiet, but they are undeniable. The tragedy is that most men are blind to it. They chase loud women, the ones who flirt openly, while the woman who truly values them is speaking in the language of silence, waiting to be recognized. And here's the bitter truth. If you cannot read that language, you will miss the one person who loves you most purely. So I say this to you, stop searching for love in declarations and start noticing it in devotion. A woman's silence is not absence, it is her most vulnerable form of presence. If you learn to read it, you will see that she has already told you everything. And if you fail to notice, you may spend your life wondering why real love never found you, when in reality, it was sitting right in front of you all along, speaking in a voice you refuse to hear. Her silence is not weakness, it is her loudest confession. Pay attention. The ultimate proof of love is never words. Words are easy, they cost nothing, they can be spoken without truth. Anyone can say, "I love you" in a moment of excitement or loneliness. But sacrifice costs something. Sacrifice takes time, energy, and effort. Sacrifice is the currency of real love, and if a woman secretly loves you, she will pay that price without hesitation, even if she never tells you directly how she feels. You have to understand this: a woman may be guarded with her emotions, she may fear rejection, she may not confess her heart openly, but she cannot hide the way she invests in you. When she loves you, she shows it in what she gives up for your sake. Think about how rare it is for anyone to give something valuable without expecting something in return. Yet love transforms her into exactly that kind of giver. She will rearrange her schedule, she will compromise her comfort, she will spend her energy to see you succeed. And she won't call it sacrifice. She won't demand applause. She will do it quietly, naturally, as if it's the most ordinary thing in the world. But it's not ordinary. It's the loudest evidence of devotion. Look closely, because sacrifice doesn't always come in dramatic packages. It's not always about grand acts of heroism. Sometimes it is subtle, almost invisible. It is her staying up late just to hear you talk about your problems, even when she's exhausted. It is her remembering to check in on you when she has 100 things on her mind. It is her offering encouragement when you doubt yourself, even though she might be battling her own insecurities. Sacrifice is hidden in these small acts, and if you are wise, you will recognize them for what they are: her heart choosing you above her own ease. This is where most men go blind. They think love is in constant attention, in endless praise, in physical affection. They fail to see that the truest form of love is in action that costs. If she is willing to give up something valuable, her time, her comfort, her energy, for you, that is love. If she changes her routine just to fit you in, that is love. If she is present for you even when it is inconvenient, that is love. And if she is silently pouring herself into your life without keeping score, you need to stop doubting her feelings. Sacrifice also reveals itself in how she supports your vision. A woman who secretly loves you will stand behind your dreams, even if they do not benefit her directly. She will encourage you to pursue your goals. She will push you when you feel weak, and she will celebrate victories that are not hers to claim. Why? Because love aligns her with your growth. She doesn't just want you, she wants to see you become the fullest version of yourself. And to fuel that, she gives what she can, even when it costs her. Here is the philosophical truth: love without sacrifice is only attraction. It may look real, it may feel intense, but it is shallow. Attraction seeks pleasure. Love seeks to give. Attraction says, "What do I get from you?" Love says, "What can I give to you?" This is why sacrifice separates real love from everything else. When a woman quietly invests in you without asking for repayment, she is showing you that you matter more than her comfort. That is the essence of love, to prioritize another above self. And yet, so many men are blind to it. They misinterpret sacrifice as obligation. They take it for granted. They don't realize that every time she goes out of her way for them, she is revealing her heart. She is risking herself, because every act of sacrifice is also an act of vulnerability. It is her saying, "You are worth this cost," even if she never says it aloud. So I will tell you this: if a woman sacrifices for you, do not dismiss it, do not ignore it, do not overlook it. Recognize it for what it is, the clearest, purest evidence of love you will ever receive. Words can lie, gestures can deceive, but sacrifice does not lie. No one gives up something valuable unless they are moved by something greater, and that greater thing is love. The next time you see her choosing you at the expense of herself, don't ask, "Does she love me?" The answer is already there. She has told you without speaking. She has confessed without confessing. She has shown you through sacrifice what her lips refuse to say. Real love is not in what she says, it is in what she gives. And if you can't see that, you don't deserve it.